Hello, Chathew. Good evening. Did I remember to set my focus? I did. Good. Hooray! I'm in focus. How's things? How you doing? It's been a while. It's been a long time getting from there to here. So yeah, what's up? What's up? I have probably got things to talk about, don't I? There's been a lot of days in the time since Thursday. We had what? We had Friday, and I went and saw Alien Romulus, and then there was Saturday, and I went and saw Lawrence of Arabia, and then there was Sunday, and I went and saw Gravity and Children of Men. And then there was Monday, and I don't remember what happened on Monday. I do know that on Sunday night, I additionally watched Bridge on the River Kwai. But yeah, it was a weekend, and I watched a lot of movies. So Jim Cat asks, top movie from the watch and bottom movie. Top movie from the watch is, Children of Men is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I probably put it up there, but it's tough to say. There were a lot of banger movies. Alien Romulus was definitely the worst. And that's not to say that Romulus was, terrible, because it wasn't terrible, but it was definitely the worst movie I watched this weekend. Was Lawrence of Arabia a film print? No, it was the 4K restoration. I still gave Romulus 3 stars and a like. I did give it a like because I did enjoy myself okay. I didn't hate it. But I didn't think it was very good. I thought it was probably this is the spicy take, is that I thought it was probably among the worst Alien movies. But I haven't watched the Alien movies I don't like recently enough to really give it a fair shake in that regard. I've just talked about it like I hate it. No, I haven't. The internet, specifically chat, actually needs to get it, through their heads that I am often critical of things that I still like or that I still enjoyed. Like Star Wars, yeah. I don't know. Chat gets the idea. And I can be very critical of things that I like. I can be very critical of things I don't like, but I can be very critical of things that I still generally have a positive opinion of. I'm not here to just bash on things. I just tend to be critical of stuff. Anyhow, I was very critical of Alien Romulus. It is true. I did not think that on the merits it was a very good movie. So if you would like me to go into it for the class, if you want the full spoiler breakdown, we can go there. If you don't want the full spoiler breakdown, we don't have to go there. There are only 2 good Alien movies. I am a stan of Alien 3. I think Alien 3 is unfairly maligned. So I would say there's like 2.5 good Alien movies. Alien 3 director's cut or theatrical, I don't think the differences make that big a difference. The famous shot, the most famous shot of all the Alien movies is from 3. The meme is from Alien 3. Is 3 the one with Charles Dance? Yes, 3 is the one with Charles Dance. The one that happens in the religious penal colony. And depending on which cut you watch, the alien is either from a bull or a dog. And it's different depending on which cut you watch. Everybody hates that they killed Newton Hicks off screen. I don't care. Literally the entire thing about the Alien universe is that space is hostile and unfair and completely uncaring. Newton Hicks dying off screen in between 2 and 3 is the most alien thing they could possibly have done. Anyhow, I think Alien 3 is clearly like not as good as the first 2, but I still like it. Right? Like I still think it's like a better movie than it gets credit for. But when you're following, again, 2 of the best movies ever made in a franchise, it's hard, especially with as much studio meddling as went into Alien 3. Do I have any hot takes on The Acolyte getting binned after one season? My only take on that is our long national nightmare is finally over. You don't have to listen to me hate watch another season of The Acolyte. Speaking of hate watching, my 4K Blu-ray copy of Halo Season 2 arrived today, so that's fun. And it didn't have a slipcover, much to my extreme chagrin. All right. Orlantia asks, why do I hate watch things? And I think I actually do have an answer for that. And I think the answer is that I find it gratifying to watch a show and diagnose what's wrong with it. Particularly when they're things that are like relevant to me, right? Like Halo or Star Wars or whatever. Things that I ostensibly like. I find it to be a gratifying exercise to watch the thing. Like, I always go into them with hope, right? I always go into, like, The Acolyte. I went into The Acolyte hoping for it to be good. I went into Obi-Wan hoping for it to be good. I went into Ahsoka hoping for it to be good. I want these things to be good and enjoyable. So I go into them hoping that they will be good. And when they turn out to not be good, I derive enjoyment from diagnosing their problems, even if I can't do anything about it. But I get invested very quickly, so I want to see how these things end. I have a hard time just dropping it, right? When I watch the first episode and I'm like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. This is going to be a train wreck. I'm already at that point invested in finding out where they go with it. And sometimes it's because, like, well, they could still pull something out of their hat here. Maybe they'll redeem what they're doing. Maybe they are doing something that I don't see yet. So I should watch it to the end and evaluate it as a complete production. But then along the way, they keep making missteps or errors or doing things that I think are bad. And so then it becomes a question of like diagnosing what's going wrong, understanding the train wreck. That's why. Like, if you want to know why, that is why. So, like, I don't know. It would be instructive if I ever decided to become a screenwriter, which is unlikely to occur. But if I ever decided to become a screenwriter, it would be instructive to, like, understand what drives train wreck. Write a banger script, sell it for money. See, nobody would buy my scripts. I don't have faith in my script, in my ability to write things. I'm very good at, I feel like I'm very good at actually, like, planning out at a very high level something that functions. Like, I can look at a train wreck and be like, okay, well, here's where you went wrong. These are the things that were working that you should have focused on. And I can sort of reconstruct the good thing from the bad thing. I do. I have in fact taken a class where one of our major assignments was like script doctoring train wrecks, which is one of the reasons that I actually like find it enjoyable. But at a high level, like here, okay, these are all the parts you're working with. This is how you put them together. This is how you could have put them together in a way that actually works. And so I don't know, I find that enjoyable. Yeah. So that's why. Script surgeon MD, that's right. So anyhow, starting on the good things, Lawrence of Arabia, stone cold classic. Stone cold classic for a reason. Bridge on the River Kwai, stone cold classic for a reason. Those are two incredible movies. Had I ever seen Lawrence of Arabia before? No, I had not seen Lawrence of Arabia before. And so when I saw that it was coming to a theatrical screening, I do own it on 4K, and I hadn't gotten around to watching it because it's like 4 hours long. So when I saw that it was screening as part of a new theater renovation and reopening, I was like, well, I can't think of a better way to see it for the first time than on the big screen. So I bought tickets and I went, and it was stone cold classic. Sam says, if you don't know, the song they whistle, the Colonel Bogey March, has lyrics. If sung, it's known by the name of its first line, Hitler has only got one ball. That's in Bridge on the River Kwai. The doot-doot, doot-doot-doot-doot. Yeah. All right, nice. Turkey. Take it. Hi, Meg.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. We had a long walk.
You did have a long walk.
We saw Pom Pom.
You saw Pom Pom?
Yeah.
How was Pom Pom today?
Adorable.
Pom Pom is a 16-week-old Shiba Inu puppy that lives in our building.
She's so little.
Yeah, she's tiny and she's very cute and very excited. And seems to like Maple a lot, so we're trying to make them be best friends.
Yeah.
So that we have there are a lot of like reactive, frankly shitty reactive dogs in this building.
There are.
To the extent that our building manager put a sign up in the elevators reminding people that their dogs are not allowed to display aggressive behaviors in common areas, like some really shitty reactive dogs that are not like...
They were not trained well.
They were not trained well, and their owners don't really do anything to stop them from being shitty reactive dogs to other dogs.
And they're small. They could just be picked up. Do they get picked up? Rarely.
So Maple gets like snarled at by these yappy little footballs on a regular basis, and so we're trying to make sure that Pom Pom is Maple's best friend.
We're well on the way. So they had a good greeting in the park. It was very cute.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Pom Pom knows how to sit, which is very good. Maple sucked at sitting at that age, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Maple celebrated by doing a jumpy bitey right outside the building. So.
Oh, delightful. She tried to do that at me at lunch, and I told her to stop, and she did.
Yes. No, we settled her down, but yeah, it was good. We were out for like an hour and a half, so we smelled a lot of things.
Yeah, you were gone a while.
Yeah. She just took me on a walk. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go eat dinner now.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Enjoy your dinner. Anyhow, in answer to the question of like, was I just on an Alec Guinness kick? The answer is basically yes. I watched Lawrence of Arabia and was like, oh yeah, Alec Guinness is a great actor. Oh yeah, I haven't watched The Bridge on the River Kwai either. I should just get it out of the way this weekend. So I did, and it was good. Good movie. In other news, Children of Men, still a really good movie. The 12-minute long shot in that movie still absolutely kills. It's an amazing, amazing movie. And Gravity, still one of the best experiences you can have in a theater. Don't know what to tell you. It's still one of the best experiences you can have in a theater. That movie rules. That is a movie that I like. I would love to do that movie as a like Discord movie night, except that I frankly don't think you should watch that movie for the first time not in a theater. What was that? Yes, and bring all of the Discord with me?
Yeah. But, like, for the locals. Have the first, like, Wiggins Con.
The first Wiggins Con at a local theater. Yeah.
Yeah, rent the theater. Just for Gravity.
Just for Gravity, yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Anyhow, that's one of those movies that I think that if it ever plays at a theater near you, you should go see it. This is my recommendation. If the movie Gravity shows as a second run in a theater near you, you should go see it. Especially if you've never seen it before. You should go see it. Because it's awesome.
I always get like 3/4 of the way through the movie, and I'm like, wait. We've just had one person on screen for the last like 45 minutes.
There's 2 people in the whole movie.
There's technically 3.
No, well, there's no actor for the third person though.
Oh,
there's a model,
that's true.
like you see his face, but they're like he's
and then you only see part of his face.
No, you see the photo of him.
That's true.
But and there's the captain of the space shuttle as well, who's
yeah.
Like, there's 2 corpses and 2 living people in the movie, and that's it. But yeah, I mean, it's a very small cast.
It's amazing. Like, it's incredible what you can do with 2 people.
And a lot of computer graphics, yes.
Yes. Yeah, they saved money by not having a cast, but
Yeah,
it's so
just
amazing though.
yeah,
Like,
it's such a fantastic use of tension in that movie, where it just like every time the debris cloud comes back, the music just starts to ratchet the tension up just slightly. There's the bit on the ISS where she is like trying to unbolt. That like these are spoilers, but I'm not spoiling the movie for you. Believe me, this does not affect your enjoyment of the film at all. Where she's trying to unbolt the Soyuz from the parachute, and the music is getting a little more tense, and like her alarm has just gone off.
Yeah,
and she's like, oh geez, that like I'm running out of time. And as she's doing it in the background, you just see like
things happen.
Yeah, just like a piece of debris just plinks off the ISS, and one of the fins like breaks off and drifts, or you just see the little like of a piece of debris just like shoot past her head.
Oh my god, it's wild.
And she's like so focused on the thing, and you just feel the tension ramping up. Like you gotta move. Oh man, it's so good.
It's so stressful.
It is.
It's a roller coaster.
It is. It absolutely is a roller coaster. It is just a roller coaster. You get these moments of incredible intensity, and then these moments of calm, and then these moments of incredible intensity. And it just like ramps you up and ramps you down, and does and it's got a story to it about Sandra Bullock's character and what she's going through and what this means to her. It's so good. It's such a good movie. So there's that. So yeah. You should go see Gravity in theaters next time it's near you. If you can see it in 3D, even better. It actually is one of the few movies that is genuinely improved by a 3D presentation. Just for the record. No, I did. And all of the scenes in space where she's like floating through, like it just makes space feel like this endless void. It definitely adds to the abyssal quality of space. All right. So we've talked about all those things. Alien Romulus.
Well, you gave them the good news first.
I gave them all the good news first, yeah. Galdar says, am I the only person who can't watch 3D movies because the glasses get in the way of my prescription glasses? I mean... you can just put them over your glasses and it's fine. You just put them in front of your glasses and it works totally fine. No, they're... Pardon me? It depends on your glasses design a little bit, but it's fine. The real trick is that if you wanted, it's pointless at this point, but you could fully go and get prescription 3D glasses if you really wanted to. I
don't know if you could. Actually.
You probably could, because they're just polarized lenses.
They have to be polarized in a specific way.
Yeah. So you go get them polarized in a specific way. Anyhow, you asked me for this, so I went and did it. There's now a visual marker of the fact that spoilers are to be discussed. There's a visual on screen telling you that it's spoiler time. So now if you mute the stream because you don't want spoilers for Alien Romulus, you will know when the spoilers have passed because I will turn the spoiler marker off. Okay. So, what did I say about Alien Romulus? What can I say that I didn't say on the Discord? Alien Romulus is a soft remake of Alien Resurrection, with many of the same plot beats of Alien Resurrection. The major differences between Alien Romulus and Alien Resurrection are that Alien Resurrection features Sigourney Weaver as the means by which they do the alien things. And Alien Romulus does basically all the same things, but this time using the black goo from Prometheus, derived from Ripley's original Alien. So it's like Venom. So let me pull up a quick plot synopsis here so that I remember. Alien Resurrection. So in Alien Resurrection, military scientists create a clone of Ellen Ripley. They use blood samples taken from Ellen and before her death, and they create a new xenomorph queen. The queen lays a bunch of eggs, and then they study the aliens on a space station. The aliens get loose. And the major important thing that happens in the movie is that they inadvertently, while this is happening, while cloning Ripley, they inadvertently clone a version of Ripley that has a hybrid alien human embryo inside it, and they raise the embryo into this like hybrid human alien creature. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't care what it's called. It's dumb. Inadvertently, in heavy quotes there. Yes. So anyhow, they create this hybrid human alien, and then the movie's big climax happens with Ripley and the hybrid on a drop ship dropping into Earth orbit. And in an effort to prevent the baby from getting to Earth and causing havoc, she decompresses the dropship, and the baby gets sucked out of a tiny hole, and the world is saved. Right? In Alien Romulus, scientists from the Weyland-Yutani Corp find the wreckage of the Nostromo, and among the wreckage of the Nostromo, they find Ripley's original alien, and they bring it back to Romulus Station, and then they extract its DNA, and they clone a whole bunch of aliens from it, and a whole bunch of facehuggers from it, and they study them. And then they get loose, and they kill everybody on the space station. And the major difference here is that in this case, the Romulus station is in orbit of a mining planet, and on the mining planet are a group of plucky teens. I say plucky teens, but they're in their 20s. But plucky teens who have decided that they want to escape this mining planet and go live in luxury on some other planet elsewhere in the galaxy where the land is green and they can feel the summer breeze through their hair. Yeah, street youths. Utes. And they happen to know that on the station are some cryopods, and they need cryopods that can keep them in suspended animation for 9 years to get to the planet they want to go to. So they decide that, well, there's this derelict station in orbit. We're going to go up to the station. We're going to steal some cryopods, and then we're going to head off and go to our dream planet. So they go up to the station, and lo and behold, they discover that the station has been ravaged by aliens and is full of facehuggers, just absolutely teeming with facehuggers. And so they try to evade the facehuggers, and they somewhat succeed. They don't succeed that well, frankly. They mostly don't succeed. So they get some of them get facehugged, and that's a thing that happens. But along the way, and one of the main character played by Kaylee Spaney has a brother who is a cyborg. He's a malfunctioning cyborg that functions as her brother, and they get aboard the ship and they find the corpse of the Romulus's cyborg, none other than a digitally resurrected Ian Holm. In just an incredibly ghoulish, and he's like, it's not a cameo part either. It's like he's one of the main characters of the movie. He's in it basically the whole way through. But in this just terrible CGI zombification where, like, I don't know, nobody seems to be commenting on this, so maybe it was just me, but it was really, really, like, not even uncanny, just bad. The CG looked like, for significant portions of the time when Ian Holm's character was on screen, it looked like his chin was clipping into his neck, and so that there was no depth here. It just looked like his chin blended into his neck, which I thought was grotesque. And then also, for significant portions of his appearance, it looked, you go to Disneyland and there's that era of animatronics where the faces are just a flat screen. Not flat, like they have the topography of a face, but they don't have any details painted onto them, and they project, like optically project the animated facial features onto this mannequin face, and to allow it to emote and sing and whatever. And so you end up with this like flat plane with a projection of a face on it. That just it looks, you get what they're going for, but it looks wrong. That is what his face looked like. It alternately looked like his chin was clipping into his neck, or like his face was optically projected onto a mannequin every time he was on screen. It was terrible. I hated it. It was not good. I thought it looked significantly worse than the CGI de-aging of Jeff Bridges from Tron Legacy. Like, I thought it was some of the worst CGI de-aging I've ever seen. It was terrible. So anyhow, they meet up with Ian Holm, who's playing a different character. He's playing Rook now, as opposed to Ash. And I also found the naming of him Rook was kind of annoying, because it's clearly a reference to Bishop. But Bishop wasn't played by Ian Holm. Ian Holm's previous character was Ash, and Ash is not a chess reference as far as I know. So that bugged me. And it turned out I learned about this later, but apparently the whole reason that Ian Holm is in this movie is because the director was like, well, it wasn't fair that Lance Henriksen got to be in several Alien movies, but Ian Holm only ever got to be in one. So we were always going to put him in. So anyhow, they find Ian Holm's Rook, and Rook. Lance Henriksen was in Alien 2 and Alien 3, and I think he was in some of the AVP movies. I'd have to double check, but he was definitely in 2 and 3. He was in Prometheus? Was he? Anyhow, point being, Ian Holmes' character did a bunch of science to the aliens and distilled out the black goo from Prometheus. And then did a bunch of experiments with the black goo on animals. And at the point where we are at when they meet Ian Holmes' character, there's a girl among the group of plucky youths whose only character trait is that she's pregnant. That is her only character. No, but for the record, none of the characters have definable characters, okay? We have the guy who hates androids because his parents were trolley problemed by an android. There's guy who maybe used to be a Marine. There's guy who's the leader. There's Kaylee Spaney. There's malfunctioning android. There's girl who's pregnant. And there's ship pilot. And that is all you learn about any of these characters. None of them have characterizations of any kind. There is nothing to latch onto. They don't really relate to one another in any way. We know they're friends. But they none of them are given characterizations. We know that we know the relationship between Cyborg and Kaylee Spaney. It seems like it. So the movie is really inconsistent because the leader, the guy who's the leader, no, sorry, not the leader, the guy who's maybe was a Marine once, seems to be kind of into Kaylee Spaney's character, but also it seems to be kind of implied that maybe he's also the guy that got the pregnant girl pregnant, but then that doesn't, they don't follow through on that. But it's sort of hinted that maybe that's the case, but then when things happened, he doesn't react like he would, like he knows, or like he is invested in that way, so it's unknown. Oh, Hawkeye Kadesh says their exes apparently, and pregnant girl is his sister. Well, none of that is in the movie. That would be great information for the movie to have contained. So anyhow, pregnant girl has gotten stabbed by the alien. I should roll back a bit. When the first party goes on to Romulus Station, they are looking for coolant fuel. So they go to the coolant fuel room. The coolant fuel room locks them in because the temperature on the ship is rising and the facehuggers are escaping. And so facehuggers start escaping into the coolant room. And they're in the coolant room. And they're getting the coolant fuel for the cryo beds, and they get locked in. And the second party, which is Andy, the android, and Kaylee Spaney and Marine guy, they go to rescue the folks who are trapped in the room, and they find Ian Holmes' android, and they pop out his control chip, and they put it in Andy so that he can have the security clearance to open the facehugger room to let the people who are trapped inside out. And so he does this, they let them out, they escape the facehuggers, but Andy's personality and like his programming gets overwritten by this control chip, and he becomes an agent of the Weyland-Yutani Corp, working in lieu of Ian Holmes' Rook. And so there's this sort of like tension through the movie of like, is Andy going to help them, or is he going to sacrifice them because he now serves the Weyland-Yutani Corp? And like some stuff goes on, but the Weyland-Yutani chip also like fixes all of his malfunctions. So anyhow, they go back to the ship, but when they get back to the ship, they take one of the people who's in the coolant room gets face hugged. They take that person back to their ship, but back on the ship, she gets chest bursted, and pregnant girl is still on the ship. The one who gets face hugged is the pilot girl, and they take her back to the ship. She gets chest bursted, and then the alien is chasing the pregnant girl around. And they get to this situation where she is like banging on the door to be let out of the hangar, and they need Andy's security clearance to open the door to let her out of the hangar. But Andy can see the alien like skulking around in the background, waiting for them to open the door and not killing, like leaving the pregnant girl alive specifically so they'll open the door. So that it can come out and kill them all. So Andy is like, no, I'm not going to open the door. And then pregnant girl gets stabbed. So this all happens. Then they have another conversation with Ian Holmes' character, and he's like, I have this fancy black goo. And this fancy black goo rewrites human DNA and has amazing healing properties. So if she just injects herself with this black goo, she will have amazing healing properties and she'll be fine. And everybody's like, no, that's a terrible idea. We don't know what this will do. And the movie gives away the fact that it causes horrible mutations in the rats that he's tested it on. So clearly what he's actually trying to do is experiment on a human with it in a situation where ethics don't apply. But anyhow, they send the black goo back to the ship because at this point he's like, all right, here's the deal. This is Rook is like, here's the deal. You need to take this black goo. You need to put it on the ship. You need to go back to the mining planet. And if you take the black goo to the dropship, I will unlock the hangar and you can fly off. But I will stay in control of the ship. I will fly you back to the planet. And then on the planet, you will hand the black goo over to Weyland-Yutani scientists, and then you can go on your merry way off to your future, like your perfect dream planet. And they're like, okay, we'll do this. So anyhow, they all get separated, but they give the one vial of the black goo to the pregnant girl, and they send her back to the dropship and like, go to the dropship. And she does, and she's on the dropship, and she's bleeding, and she's scared, and she injects herself with the black goo to try and heal herself. And the consequence of this is that basically immediately it mutates her baby, and her baby hatches into, surprise, it's a giant alien-human hybrid. Congratulations! It's a abomination. And so things get all kinds of weird. At one point, a giant, creepy, alien-esque, chitinous, I'm trying to think of the word.
Use many words. Exoskeleton.
No, it's not an exoskeleton. It's a womb, complete with anatomical imagery that is used to birth an alien. That's a thing that happens, and that's how like Marine guy gets killed because he gets stabbed
they
to
have,
hell.
Like, external uteruses.
Yes, that's the word I was thinking of.
Yes.
Like a big chitinous uterus attached to a wall. That's a thing.
Sounds like my inside. No.
And the pregnant girl gives birth to like an egg that then it turns out is full of acid, and it opens up, and it's like a tiny baby alien human hybrid, and the alien human hybrid looks like a tall. You know how the engineers in Prometheus had like the black eyes and the like really white skin? Same thing, except that it's super tall and gangly as opposed to being built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so there's that. There's this weird abomination, and it ends up with Kaylee Spaney and the abomination on the dropship falling back to the planet, and she decides that she like can't let it get to the planet, so she explosively decompresses the cargo hold of the dropship they're on and blows it into space. In a scene that's more dramatic and more like 2020's movie than Alien Resurrection, but very akin to Alien Resurrection. So there's that. Yeah, you should feel like you've seen this before because it was basically just like repeating all the notes of Alien Resurrection, but with none of the verve and charm of Alien Resurrection. So, like, I don't know. I mean, they do it in Alien 1 as well. Like, blowing it into space is the way you kill an alien, right? It's that or nuke it from orbit because it's the only way to be sure. But it's specifically the explosively decompressing the hold of a dropship to blow a hybrid alien human into space after the hybrid alien human has been created by experimentation on Ellen Ripley's alien. That basically means, like, that is the extent to which these movies rhyme, is what I'm getting at. The other so there are two other things that kind of annoyed me. That, like, they're not really here nor there, but they just kind of annoyed me about the movie. Which is that, like, the Alien movies are generally pretty hard sci-fi, right? Like, it takes years to get from planet to planet. Interstellar travel is slow. Space physics are basically accurate. Like, not perfect, but it's pretty hard sci-fi. There's no faster than light travel. They use regular guns. That sort of thing. They do have artificial gravity, but, like, who cares? So there's a scene in the movie where the gravity generators are on the fritz, and so the gravity is, like, turning off and then turning back on again on a cycle, and Kaylee Spaney's character is cornered by a whole bunch of aliens, and so she turns off the gravity, and all the aliens, like, float into midair, and then she shoots them all, creating this, like, cloud of acid blood that's floating in air. And for reasons inexplicable, the blood doesn't splash towards her. Even though the aliens are diving at her when she shoots them, the blood stops having momentum as soon as she shoots them. And then the blood forms this, like, circulating cylinder tube. And so she has to float through all the acid blood without getting any of it on her, and she has to get through this gauntlet of acid blood before the gravity turns back on and causes it all to splash back down to the ground. And when it splashes back down to the ground, of course, it's going to eat through the bottom of the space station and evacuate all the air from the station. So there's that, right? And it's like, it's an okay scene. It's relatively tense. You get what they're going for, but it also feels kind of ridiculous and out of place. It feels like a scene from Alien Resurrection or an Alien versus Predator movie, and not from something that they would have put in Alien or Aliens. It feels like they're like comic booky kind of thing to put in the movie, which I don't know. I am saying it kind of derisively, but it feels out of place in a universe as sort of that plays as straight and as hard sci-fi as the Alien universe tends to. The other thing that bugged me is guy who used to be a Marine finds a bunch of guns, right? And we know that Kaylee Spaney is the only actor in the movie who is famous. As I should say, as the most famous actor in the movie, is going to be the important person, because she's in all the promotional stuff and whatever. They did not even play coy about whether they were going to do the Alien thing of like, oh, you think it's going to be the people you know, but actually it's going to be the background character who's the important one. Like, no, they don't do anything like that. But anyhow, they find a supply of guns. And they're like, all right, we've got these guns. We can defend ourselves. And in a thing I liked, Andy is like, great, you've got guns. You're not going to shoot them. Because we are on the bottom floor of this space station, and these things have acid blood. And if you shoot one, the acid blood will melt through the bottom of the station. We will all blow into space. So you've got these guns. Don't shoot them. But maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, you can point them at the aliens and they will consider them enough of a threat that they won't attack you right away. Which, that was a bit I liked. I thought that was clever. But sucking all the wind out of the, like, now we have guns conversation is they find these guns and former Marine guy gives one to Kaylee Spaney and is like, hey, this is the and he goes through the whole spiel of like the same spiel from Aliens, right? It's like, here is this assault rifle. It fires this many rounds of this kind of ammo and does all these special things. And then he's like, and this is the special model with an auto aim function. So you fold out this stock and you stick it under your shoulder. And then if you pull the trigger halfway, it'll lock onto a target. And when you pull the rest of the way, you can't miss. And it literally, like, she pulls the trigger halfway and an actuator in the stock pulls the gun towards the thing it detects for her to aim at. And so at the later point in the show where she gets to shoot things, she's pulling the trigger, but it kind of undercuts the whole, like, okay, now she's like a super badass, because the gun is doing all the aiming for her, which just annoyed me, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with including that in the movie, but it annoyed me that they did, because it felt like they were providing an excuse ahead of time for why she was a good shot, instead of just being like, she's in a life or death situation. She's maybe held a gun before in her life, and she's firing it in a, like, down a hallway. The only time she shoots the gun, it doesn't matter, because she's shooting down a hallway at things that are running towards her. She does not need to be worried about hitting things that are difficult to hit. They are running straight at her. So it felt like the movie just making an excuse for why their female character was a badass before the chuds could be like, well, she just learned how to fire a gun. Which just annoyed me. I just didn't like it. It would not have been unbelievable for her to just have a pulse rifle and shoot all the things. So putting this scene in where they're like, this one guarantees that you can't miss because it does all the work for you, just felt shitty. I just felt bad that scene was there. So I didn't like that very much. So anyhow, there's that. But there are multiple points in this movie where they go into, like, the reference, right? This is what how Cameron described it, as it can't stop making the reference. And it is the case that, like, capital TR, the reference, is a thing this movie does. At a later point in the movie, I'm going to get quite nitpicky about this one because it bothers me on a bunch of different axes. There is a scene where an alien attacks Kaylee Spaney's character, and Andy grabs the gun and shoots the alien and keeps shooting it, and they fall down an elevator shaft, and he lands on top of it and shoots it a few more times, and over the course of falling down the elevator shaft, he, like, when he jumps at it, he screams, "Get away from her!" And then they fall down the elevator shaft while he's shooting, and he lands on top of the alien and shoots it a few more times, and then says, "You bitch!" And, like, Andy's character is not, like, he's an android. He's not an emotive character, right? Like, he's very emotionally reserved throughout the movie. And he doesn't swear at all through the whole movie. So the "you bitch" at the end is out of character in that regard. Additionally, at no point in the movie have they, like, in Aliens, that line works because the movie has set up a set of themes and a set of motifs revolving around motherhood. And we know, the alien that Ripley is fighting when she says, "Get away from her, you bitch," is the Queen, a giant, ostensibly female alien. And so that line feels natural and appropriate in context where you have these two mother characters duking it out with each other over the fate of a child. Totally makes sense. It's one of the reasons that line is so good and so enduring, is that it feels completely appropriate and natural in the scene based on what has been established in the movie so far. And in this movie, Andy is not emotive and doesn't swear, and Hello, Foxamar. Thank you for the raid. I'm spoiling Alien Romulus, just so you know. And they have not established anything about the aliens. They are just aliens, right? So as far as the characters in this movie know, they are just aliens. They do not have a gender or a sex. So there's no particular reason to throw a gendered insult out at them. And it's not a question of, like, domination. So there's not a good reason for them, like, the use of "you bitch" in this context doesn't make sense for the scenario. It doesn't make sense for the character. It doesn't make sense for the scene. It's just, they are just putting it in because it's the thing you remember from the other movie. The other thing that's annoying about it is that because it's in canon, and because this movie canonically happens a year or two after the events of the first Alien, and 40 years before the events of Aliens, this actually means that Andy says this to an alien in universe before Ripley says it to the alien queen in Aliens. Which is incredibly nitpicky, but also quite annoying. And I have already seen someone on Reddit being like, "I really liked this because it suggests that it's not just a coincidence and that they're both being controlled by some other force." Sam says, it's like how General Grievous gave Obi-Wan the idea to say hello there. Yeah. I didn't. I did not plumb Reddit for stupefying takes. This was served to me on the homepage. So, like, I am not one to be incredibly nitpicky about keeping your lore straight, but it did bug me. Because, again, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the lore. It doesn't make sense in the moment. It doesn't make sense in the scene. It doesn't make sense for the character. It's just a reference that's there. It is straight up jingling keys in your face and being like, look, it's the thing you remember. And it's inorganic and forced and unpleasant. Again, also, Ian Holmes' character says, I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies. Which, is Ash's famous line from Alien. And he says it exactly the same. And like, okay, I get it. It's annoying, but I get it. At least, like, they're the same model of robot, so maybe they have that phrase programmed in. But, like, every time they do this, the whole scene where he's, like, walking through what everything in the gun does, it's like, okay, it's the same gun. This one has a robot that fires it. But, like, we're just going to redo that scene. So the whole movie... So, good things about the movie. I'm going to say good things about the movie here. You've been warned. The guy who plays Andy, whose name I don't know, but I should. The guy who plays the robot is really good. He's really good. He does a great job. I think his acting is phenomenal. Best character in the movie by a long shot. I'm looking up his name now because I should know it. David Johnson. Great job. Awesome work. It's not an amazing movie. He did amazing in it. So good work. I thought he was great. I don't remember where I was going with this. Good things about the movie. Oh yeah, good things about the movie. It nails the aesthetic. It looks toe to tip like an Alien movie. They really, really nailed the design aesthetic of the Alien films for this movie, so it doesn't feel technologically out of place with Alien. It feels very in line. But it is no thoughts, only vibes. It has the vibe of Alien locked down. It does not understand basically anything that made Alien work. And in a very real way, it feels almost like an adaptation of Alien Isolation rather than Alien. It has all this video game logic, and it does all these things that work in a video game, where it's like, this is not... We don't have to take Alien Isolation seriously as a part of the Alien canon. It can do silly references, and it can do... these like video gamey scenes that don't necessarily have to work exactly the way that we expect things to work based on how we've seen them in the movies, because it has so much more time, for one, that even if it does make all these references, they don't take up so much of the runtime of the video game. It's a much broader experience. And we just are willing to give video games more license to do goofy shit, right? Like, that's what video games are for. They're a different medium. They have different strengths. You can do sillier things in a video game, and we are more willing to like extend the yeah sure's to a video game, where the movie takes way too many of those yeah sure's that we would extend to a video game that I cannot extend to the movie. It's too many yeah sure's and not enough meat on the bones. So I left the movie reasonably disappointed. It has a pretty good, like, as I say, it has the vibe on lock. I had a pretty good time. A bit too in the campy horror. I wouldn't call it campy. It's not campy. It's not even schlocky because the production is too high. But it's not campy horror. It's just taking shortcuts in ways that we would allow a video game to take shortcuts, but that don't work in a movie. And so I can't extend it as much grace. And it's not like, I don't know if it's even salvageable. It probably is. It probably is salvageable. You could probably make the same basic movie and make a few changes, and it would still be a stealth remake of Alien Resurrection, but it would at least feel like organic and not like a franchise building opportunity. And that's I think what gets me is that it feels like it's just, I don't know. I called it the Alien or the Ghostbusters Afterlife of the Alien movies, and I think I stand by that. Polygon called it the Ready Player One of Alien movies, and I don't agree with that. I read that article and I thought their thinking was wrong. I felt like they pinned it down incorrectly because it is not the Ready Player One of Alien movies. The Ready Player One, like Ready Player One means a specific thing, and that's not what this is. But it is the Ghostbusters Afterlife of Alien movies. It is a movie designed to introduce a new generation of people to Alien, made with fawning reverence for the original, but basically misunderstanding all of the things that made the original good. And that's exactly what Ghostbusters Afterlife did. Ghostbusters Afterlife was a nostalgia movie for dads who like Ghostbusters to try and get their kids to like Ghostbusters. And Alien Romulus is not a movie for dads who like Alien to get their kids interested in Alien, but it is a movie, in a similar vein, it is a movie that is pandering to people who have nostalgia for the original Alien. But it's really about making an Alien movie for like a modern horror sensibility. It's like the Zoomers Alien movie. I don't know how to be more articulate about it than that. It is it is like the Zoomers Alien movie. And so it's leaning on these like things that it's adapting from the other Alien movies in an effort to be credible, but it is not actually doing any of the things that make Alien a like, again, a stone cold classic movie. So it is, yeah, Alien is a modern horror movie, sort of, but again, like not even a good modern horror movie. You can make a modern horror movie, you just have to make it good. There's an interview with Alvarez, the director, where he says, I wanted to make sure the cast in this movie was really young because it's harder to watch young people die, which is just such a fundamental misunderstanding of what made Alien work. Like fundamental misunderstanding. That is like peak modern horror sensibility and completely wrong for Alien. That is not what the Alien movies are about. I saw a TikTok video today where it's like, look at the cast of Alien 1 and look at the cast of Alien 2 and look at the cast of Alien 3 and look at how like varied and like how large those casts are and how varied they are and the different walks of life these people come from and the way their costuming tells stories about who they are and what they do. And like, that it creates this really like lived in world where you learn things about people from their mannerisms and how they interact with one another and how they look and how they carry themselves. And they come from, they're of various ages and from various walks of life, with various character histories. And Alien Romulus is like, here's 6 teens with attitudes. Now let's watch them die to an alien. And it's not right. It feels wrong. It feels out of place. And with that, I'm done, I think, unless you have any questions. I do think it is fair to say that, like, that vision of Alien is adapting Alien as the slasher movie in space, which it is. But it's missing all of the mystery aspect of the original Alien, where they're learning things all the way through, right? And they're discovering things about the alien, and they're discovering things about the situation they're in. And that is not what Romulus is doing. Romulus is not doing that. Romulus assumes you already know the whole deal with the aliens and is just like, okay, we're going to set the aliens loose and they're going to have to get out of this situation. Are we going to get an alien Remus? No, because Remus also appears in the movie. Romulus is actually the name of only half of the space station. The whole space station is divided in two, and there's the Romulus half of the station and the Remus half of the station. And the whole movie takes place on the Romulus half of the station. Like, they don't really go to the Remus half. But the whole station is there, and the whole station blows up at the end. So so there's that. All right, so Sam has a question, which I'm going to wait for Sam to complete asking, and then I'll see if I can answer it. Okay, so Sam says, my question is, the horror in Alien is really uncomfortable, deliberately so. It's heavily sexualized, sometimes homoerotic horror. It breaks horror norms on purpose. It sounds like you're describing Romulus as making an Alien, but safe as a mass-market horror movie. Yes and no. So the kills, such as they are throughout the movie, are very safe slasher kills. They're like nothing particularly uncomfortable about them. There is the closest they get to being uncomfortable is that the pilot girl who gets face huggered. They actually succeed in detaching the face hugger from her. And they do so at a time before they are sure whether it has successfully implanted in her or not. And you get to watch its like tentacle like extubate, which is like gross and a little uncomfortable, but not. It's not uncomfortable in the way that like the horror of the Alien movies is uncomfortable. Otherwise, like, guy gets stabbed with the sword tail, or person gets head bitten out. And the like, it's just the standard like violent kills, right? Like they're not gross borderline sexual kills. They're like that aspect of it is not there. Where it is introduced and where it becomes a little more uncomfortable is at the point when the hybrid appears. Because, as I say, there's this at that point in the movie, we get like this weird chitinous uterus on the wall with like a vagina attached to it, that's kind of gross and goopy. And they're like shooting into it, and the blade tail like comes out of it and stabs a guy. And so there's like that weird like sexual horror imagery there. And then the hybrid hatches as a baby, and it has this whole sequence where it's like trying to nurse from its mother, and is also like eating her at the same time. That is like, at that point, the movie goes where you would expect an alien movie to be, right? It starts to live in the world that aliens horror has historically lived in. But it takes a long time to get there and is very safe until then. And if you look at TikTok, for the record, I haven't called this the Alien Zoomer movie. The TikTok responses are all like, the first 2/3 of Alien Romulus? Yeah, this is awesome. I love this. The last third of Alien? The TikTok responses are all like, we found the last third of this movie too uncomfortable and gross and sexual. But the first 2/3 were awesome. So, yes? I don't know if that answers your question. But maybe it answers your question. Maybe it answers your question. All right, we're done. We're going to play some video game. In fairness to my having gone on this rant, I spent much of the afternoon feeling fairly unwell and lightheaded, so I was not looking forward to playing a really intense video game this evening. But I feel better now, so I'm actually looking forward to it. Am I getting the 4K? Of course I am. Again, it's I collect movies that are relevant to me, even if I don't necessarily enjoy them. But I did. Like, surface level, I enjoyed Alien Romulus. I was not bored. I didn't hate it in the moment. I just felt that it was a very flawed movie. And I don't think it will stand up over time as being a particularly beloved entry in the franchise. Matt's Letterboxd gives Geostorm 1 star and a heart. That's right. I loved Geostorm. Meg and I went and saw Geostorm in theaters, and we had the time of our life that night. I remember basically nothing about Geostorm except that lightning strikes an arena, like a stadium, and the stadium explodes. And that stadium is where they were keeping the President of the United States. And a lightning strike explodes it in a giant fireball. Because that's how stadiums and lightning work. All right. I bet you my PlayStation is turned off by this point. Oh, no, it's still on. Look at that. Hooray. Was the vice president behind the lightning strike? My recollection is that, yes, the vice president was behind the lightning strike. My recollection of Geostorm is that it, like, the whole thing was like the vice president manipulating a weather satellite, like a weather generating space station, in an effort to assassinate the president of the United States. That is my recollection. See, now I have to look it up. We can't play a video game yet. Geostorm. I'm going to throw up my spoiler alert warning again because I'm about to read the plot of Geostorm. In 2019, following many catastrophic natural disasters, an international coalition commissions Dutch Boy, a system of climate-controlling satellites. After it neutralizes a typhoon in Shanghai, a U.S. Senate subcommittee reprimands Chief Architect Jake Lawson, who brought Dutch Boy online without authorization. He is replaced by his brother Max, who works under U.S. Secretary of State Leonard Deckham. 3 years later, a UN team stationed in the Registan Desert discovers a frozen village. Mahmoud Habib, an Indian engineer working on the International Climate Space Station, copies data from the satellite responsible for Afghanistan onto a hard drive before being killed in a supposed accident. After convincing U.S. President Andrew Palma to conduct an investigation, Max persuades Jake to go to the ICSS and investigate. In Hong Kong, a satellite severely increases temperatures, causes fire whirls, and collapses multiple buildings. Jake arrives at the ICSS to examine the malfunctioning satellites, which were damaged and their data erased. He works with Station Commander Ute Fassbinder and her crew, consisting of engineer Annie Adisa, systems specialist Duncan Taylor, and technician Al Hernandez and security officer Ray Doucette. They recover the hard drive but hide it from the crew, suspecting a traitor. Examining the data, they discover that a virus has been introduced, causing the malfunctions and wiping out the login access of key senior people to the satellite. Suspecting that Palma is using Dutch Boy as a weapon, Jake tells Max he needs to reboot the system to eliminate the virus, requiring the kill code held by Palma. The ICSS staff neutralizes malfunctioning satellites by deliberately knocking them offline via collisions with replacement satellites. Back on Earth, Cheng Long discovers that he and Max have lost login access and warns Max of a global cataclysm known as a geostorm if the malfunction continues. Cheng is pursued to Washington, D.C. by a team of rogue government agents led by Rico, who kill him in a traffic incident, but not before he says, Zeus. Discovering Project Zeus simulates extreme weather patterns to create a geostorm. Max enlists his girlfriend, Secret Service agent Sarah Wilson, to acquire the code. During this time, the ICSS team loses control of all operations as the virus initiates the self-destruct program. During the DNC in Orlando, Florida, Max discovers Orlando is next to be targeted after a massive hailstorm hits Tokyo and an offshore cold snap takes out a portion of Rio de Janeiro. Max requests Deckham's help, who instead tries to kill him, revealing himself as the saboteur. Max informs Sarah, so they kidnap Palma to protect him from Deckham's agents and secure the kill code. As they escape from the arena, before a lightning storm destroys it, Max discloses their activities and Deckham's treachery to Palma. After outsmarting Deckham's mercenaries, the three arrest Deckham and confront him about his plan to eliminate the other elected officials in America's line of succession, allowing him to dominate the world while eliminating America's enemies. Max and Sarah escort Palma to the Kennedy Space Center and transmit the code, but learn that the self-destruct sequence cannot be stopped. More weather disasters occur globally. Duncan is actually the traitor who masterminded Habib's death and created the storms on Deckham's orders, and Jake confronts him. Duncan is killed in the ensuing fight while Jake escapes. As the crew evacuates the station, Jake and Ute stay behind to ensure the system's reboot, eliminating the virus and transferring satellite control to NASA, thus preventing the geostorm at the last second. They then escape in a replacement satellite as the self-destruct sequence completes. After they use the replacement satellite thrusters as a beacon, a nearby shuttle piloted by Hernandez picks them up. 6 months later, Jake is working as the head engineer for Dutch Boy once more, now administered by an international committee who rebuild the space station. There you go. See? A lightning storm destroys the arena. And also, the vice president was the saboteur, but actually the president was the saboteur. It's the greatest movie ever made. Oh, wait, I have to do my traditions. I haven't done my traditions. All right, here's my phone. Here's my phone cable. Everybody, please brace your ear holes. Next, Garçon, can I have a drum roll, please? It is delicious. It is nutritious. It is Coca-Cola. Technically, it's slightly different Coca-Cola because they didn't have any of the diet caffeine-free Coca-Cola. So this is just diet caffeinated Coca-Cola, which actually has a slightly different taste, and I don't think I like it as much. Zafty, I don't particularly like this Gundam. Whether it's better or worse than Shenlong, I don't know. I have no horse in this race, but I don't particularly like it. Not my favorite. The next one will be the one for me. I don't remember what the Bolt Gundam looks like. Oh yeah, Bolt Gundam's dope. That's right. Okay, Bolt Gundam is dope. Of the what is it? The Shuffle Alliance. The Bolt Gundam is pretty rad. All right, now I do also owe you a joke, and I think I found a joke already. There we go. Did you know that I used to work as a programmer for the iPhone autocorrect system? They fired me for no reason. Now I owe another joke. What is the worst thing about ancient history classes? The professors tend to babble on. All right, now it is time to play a video game. Okay, so I don't remember what we were meant to be doing next. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Location, Ashina Castle. Okay, I don't have any gourd seeds. All right. Now that I'm in Ashina Castle, where am I supposed to go? Backside. Opposite side of the broken Sneck Bridge. don't even remember how to get to the broken Sneck Bridge. Hey, Erica, Raiders, welcome. You're actually joining us just as we start playing our game. I spent the entire time to this point ranting about a movie. Did we go live on TikTok? We did not. Thank you. You have strong opinions about urbanism? Good. Because on this channel, we stand a robust and well-funded public transit system that includes grade-separated light rail. Damn, I produce this. Oh god, you got him started. What is the Anaheim of Vancouver? You're gonna have to define what Anaheim is in relation to to Los Angeles. I know it's a suburb of Los Angeles, but what is the reputation of Anaheim relative to LA? See, I'm not sure it is Surrey. This is why I'm asking for further clarification. Yes, Anaheim loves to say it's a part of LA. No one in actual LA likes Anaheim. Sure. I still want... What does it mean to be Anaheim? Anaheim is where Disneyland is. I guess nobody here lives in LA, which is why nobody is answering my question as asked. Like, I need to know more. Is Anaheim like a working class suburb? Is it where the rich people are? Is it defined by its amenities? I know it's, like, close to LA. Is that Sneck Bridge? That's Sneck Bridge. Right there. Okay. I finally figured out where I'm supposed to be. Orange County as a whole has a historic reputation of being the rich suburbs. Okay. That's helpful. We're starting to define it a bit. Oh. Nick says it's probably Whistler.
Like, in terms of, like, similar places where people travel there, people go there to do a thing, and they're like, oh, yeah, Vancouver, we're gonna go skiing in Whistler. Like, people go to LA, and they're like, I'm going to Disneyland. It's expensive. No one actually lives there. Even the people that work there can't live there because it's too damn expensive.
You see, I'm not sure
and
that
cocaine. So much cocaine.
Well, fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, I am not familiar enough with the like reputations of the various areas of California to know.
Because we don't really have. I don't know. That was just my thought. I thought I'd come over and interject.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Am I in the right place now? Chath, you. It was the tree hill. Okay. So, Jen Cavox, at this point, I'm specifically asking for directions as to where to go. So, the backseat policy is temporarily suspended because I am literally asking for help. So again, where the hell am I meant to go? There's a depths idol I found earlier. Okay. Seems a lot brighter in here than it did last time we were here. All right, what's the probability of me getting very killed if I drop down? Are you going to need a second murdering? What? Well, this doesn't bode great. Oh god. Oh god. Ow! 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 The game audio sounds distant to you? It sounds completely fine to me. don't even know what it sounding distant means. And literally nothing has changed. Hollow sounding. The thing is, I don't even have any way to check this. Okay, let's see if I can find a way to check this. 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 That sounds fine to me. That sounds fine. It sounds exactly the same. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. It sounds no different than it ever has. It is exactly the same. Okay, did I remember to heal? I did. What do you mean? What my... Oh. Thank you.
Language.
All right, I have located another sculptor's idol. Hooray! Oh, hell, there's two of them. extremely terrible. Jesus. This is the worst. Ow! Brutal. No, info broker. Okay, so the grand question of our age is, do I have any way to get over to the mini boss without aggroing everything in the building? No. The answer is categorically, what the hell? Yikes. Okay, I clearly need to figure out how to fight these things. And preferably how to fight them without aggroing the entire friggin' room. Yeah, like that. Ugh. Come on! Where are my blocks? Holy crap. Well, this is no fun. Oh, come on. How am I aggroing her from across the room? Jesus. Stop noticing me, please. God damn it. Oh my god. All I want in this life is to stop aggroing the entire room in one go. Okay. crying out loud! Shot from across the room. Yes, Jibcat, you're correct. Tanking a shotgun blast to the face may not be the best tactic for survival. You're not wrong. If I could figure out how to dodge that attack, that would help. Unbelievable. Can I parry ranged attacks? Yes, I can. If I'm not stunned. Okay. Good Lord. Okay, so that doesn't work. It's clearly a grab. Because the bounce doesn't work, despite the fact that it looks like a sweep. That's extra BS. Oh, God damn it! I got again. God, she hits so hard. Come on, heal. No, I'm dead. I'm not dead. Oh, fudge, come on. I've used up so much healing. Oh no! This fight is stupid. Come at me, bro. Was that? What the hell was that? Woof! Also, no wonder I was taking no healing. I accidentally flipped over to my pellets. Okay. We've cleared the room. Good old toxic swamp. How do I get up there? I think there's a tunnel. Ooh, Q1 Gunpla kits to be announced on Tuesday evening next week. That's exciting. Maybe they'll release something good. All right, extra vit and posture. All G Gundam kits. Listen, I wouldn't mind. You say that like it's a bad thing, but let's get a Nether Gundam and a Mermaid Gundam. I would definitely buy a Lumber Gundam. You're 100% correct. Uh-oh, the music stopped. And I can't help but notice the blood trails. And what appears to definitely be a boss arena. Maybe if I'm very quiet, the boss won't notice me. Okay, I definitely didn't actually sneak my way past a boss, right? There's no way they would let me get away with that. I don't know what I've been sent to. Well, now I'm going to tempt fate. You're right. It does indeed appear to just be a big ominous cavern. Ah, cock. Can I interest anyone in a chicken fillet? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh god! It's a ghost! What? Boo! Whoops. It's a good thing these ghosts aren't sword-proof. Doubles! Okay. Hi, who are you?
お主もし御仏の道を知る者ならば仏敵を撃ってはくれまいか。仏敵だと。そうじゃ。
Okay. Someone hiding in an abandoned temple up ahead.
しい扉が閉ざされている。
There's a hole in the second floor.
2階に
We've received instructions.
開いているはずじゃ。
Death blow it just for good measure. Haha! Loot. And another chicken. And still more chickens. Okay, I would like another idol, please. Piss off, ghost. Oh my god. Jesus. Ghost Archer? Holy crap. Oh my god. There's the archer. Okay. Hey, buddy. Arch this. Any further contenders? Full balls. Okay, what if instead of beating on me so hard, you let me get a blow in? There we go. Jesus Christ. Oh, fudge. No, come on! I hear another one. God damn it! This area is so mean. Okay, I just need to find a way up to the second floor. Oh, goddamn! The balls! Oh god. Really? Oh, that's so mean. Oh, come on! Okay, so how the hell do I get over there? What? Like, that's not enough to get over to the rooftop. Now what? Oh no! Maybe there's an idol in here? Oh my god. Nope, don't like that at all. Well, this is fine. Totally fine. Please, sir, can I have an idol? Let's just go back here. Okay, and now I can be slightly less terrified. Slightly. Cock-a-doodle, do not get in my way. I just say. Alright, it's still Monkey Town, USA over here. It is. Oh, it's another one of those guys! Can I unanger him? Oh, interesting. If there is a wall run, I don't have it yet. Ow. The tree got in my way. Hey. Rude. Double rude. What the hell? Oh my god. Terrible. Absolutely uncalled for. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Yes, these are indeed the true assassin cogs. My god. Those attach points are really finicky. Okay, are there any further monkeys over there? I cannot make this approach without getting spotted. Oh no, there is another monkey. So rude. Okay, there we go. Alright, big angry sortie man. Go back to your home, please. Ugh. Ow! Obliterated. No, come on! There was no greed there. It was just a wrong input, and I bounced back into range of that attack while trying to heal. I wasn't trying to attack him. I was trying to get away. That's actually really upsetting. Man. So there was nothing about greed there. This is the same issue I've been having the whole game, where I dodge back and try to heal, but because of the way the inputs stack, I dodge back and then he dodges forward again and then goes into his heal animation and it gets me punished. It's not on purpose. Come at me, Broseph. Oh, come on. Absolutely brutal timing to go into a... Oh, come on. I lost my target lock? I'm dead. That's really annoying. Okay, here we go again. This time for sure. Whoops. Oh, what a waste. we go. Finally. Okay. And now I want to figure out that ledge. Is that actually an ability I don't have yet? Looks like it is. You know, I have absolutely no healing of any kind. Maybe I should... You can shimmy it? Oh, okay. I get it. Right. Uh-oh. What am I under attack by? Alright, let's see if we can find a path forward. Come on. Man, really? I know, sometimes they just get me the wrong way and refuse to be blocked or parried. Okay, where's our next destination? Where does that go? Oh, that's probably just the way back. staying idle. Exciting. Some very angry doggos. Don't think I want to meet the angry doggos. Hey there, trader.
僕よ、いかがかね。こんなところにも死者があるところ。
What have you got for me?
要求あり。死ねぬものでもお構いなしじゃ。さあ、ご供養していきなされ。
Not at all creepy. Ooh, 2 treasure carp scales.
Gokuyo. 死者があるところ、どこへ。
Oh, brutal. Oh, man. Oh god, he's chasing me! Leave me alone! I really don't like that the music is still going, but I don't know where he is. Wow, okay. Gross. Ah! Oh, he lost so much of his stagger buildup. Oh, God. Oh, come on! Whoo! Oh, no! Boo! Oh, God, he's still there. He didn't go away. All right, I'm calling it there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who subscribes, everybody who follows, everybody who cheers, everybody who chats, and everybody who hangs out and lurks. It's a genuine thrilled stream for you, and I hope you have as much fun watching as I do playing. I'll be back, same mad time, same mad channel, here on twitch.tv/weekends and on TikTok at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. No, it's daylight time. Pacific Daylight Time on Thursday. Don't miss it. Thursday night. All right. As always, you can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at weekends_TV. And if you have if you are subscribed on Twitch, you can join the Discord server by making sure your Twitch account and Discord account are linked in Discord's back end, where my server will appear to you as if by magic among your linked servers. So please do make sure to join the Discord. All right. That's going to be it for the evening. Apparently Chris is streaming, so we're going to raid him. Raid. Everybody hop aboard this raid train. I will see you back here on Thursday. Until then, so long, have a good night, and goodbye.